how did you encounter Heath Hill? Give us a story.
Well, I knew Heath Hill's granddaddy, and I've had socializing with him, conversation-wise, business-wise, and I also had conversation with his daddies, Harry Hill, Heath's daddy. He was a nice guy, and when I approached him about this land, he had tell me because my other sister was getting the land and she'd let it go back, and so I approached him about the land. Mr. Hill's the father, Heath's father, and he said okay, so he wrote up a contract for me for the land, and I tell him that I would not have all the money to pay him, but I would pay him as I got it. So I gave him this $1,000 down on the land, and he gave me the plat of the land. And this is my receipt where I paid him down on the land. And I was paying him like every month, every other month, I would pay him money on this land. And he would say, okay, when you get more, pay me. When you finish paying me, then I will give you your title to it. So I said, okay. So after Mr. Hills died, I approached Heath Hills, his son, and I tell him about the land. He said, well, do you have your paperwork? I said, yes. He said, well, this is what Heath tell me. He said, well, bring the paperwork, let me see the paperwork. So I took the same paperwork here and let Heath see it, and Heath tell me, no, it was time ran out, that it could no longer be forward.
How much had you paid and how much did you owe?
I owed it $49. Here's the contract right here. I owed it $4,920, and I paid them all but $300, Mr. Hills.
And how much property was it?
It was 1.23 acres.
And again, what were you planning on doing with the property, Ms. Posey?
I was going to put it up there for my grandchildren, because at the time they were living here with me, but they were growing up bigger, and I just wanted some place for them to have them to stay.
And so that was it? Mr. Heath Hill said that, sorry, Ms. Posey?
Yeah, I'm sorry at the time.
Well, he offered you the money back?
Oh, he offered me nothing. He said, I'm pretty sure he went and talked with his attorney, because when he approached me, when we talked again, he said it was past time, and he couldn't do nothing about it. I said, okay. So I just walked away.
Why didn't you kick up some sand on it?
Kick up some sand?
Fight back, fuss with him,
No.
get a lawyer.
No, I didn't. I'm not a person who likes to keep something going, And I felt within myself, I said, well, I know it's been a minute, I should have already paid for it. But the daddy was very nice. His daddy was nice, his granddaddy was a nice guy. And thinking that he would be as nice as them, but evidently he's not as good as they are. And I was saying that I was not going to vote for him because he took my land and my money. So I said, I don't see where he's a good person to be voting for. I said, I'm not going to vote for him. And that's when I heard about you all.
Yeah.
And I tell you all the story, and you all said you all would like to take it. So I said, well, this is the truth. God earned his truth. So he is not as good as his daddy nor granddaddy. But anybody can vote for him who want to vote for him.
Well, we certainly appreciate you being willing to step up, and it's uncomfortable for you, and you worry about exposing yourself and your family to some criticisms or some pressure from this rich white guy here and owns 66 square miles of Richland County.
40,000
40,000 acres.
Mm-hmm. And since his father, grandfather, and father died, he has control of it all.
We just think that your story is important. It reflects on the gentleman's character to represent a county that is majority rural, majority black, and majority low income.
Yeah.
And that I think that your story is important, and we'll see what the voters think on May 2nd, Ms. Posey. Thank you a lot.
Okay, you're more than welcome.